Is there something you avoid at all costs because it scares you too much? Fear can be a very personal thing and sometimes very difficult to move past. For Dr. Kelly McGonigal, a fear of flying was so intense that it kept her from doing many of the things that made her happy, like visiting family and pursuing career opportunities. Here, Kelly explains how she used mindfulness to overcome this fear and what steps helped her find freedom.
The thing that helped most was having a few key moments of actually not flying and feeling the remorse about not flying. One example was not being able to be at a family event that I probably should have been at. And another was a professional opportunity that I turned down. And I started to realize that whatever choice I made to fly or not fly, I was ending up with the same outcome of feeling really trapped. Like this was that choosing anxiety was reinforcing it. And I had a mindfulness practice. I hadn't really applied it to the fear of flying yet. And I think the mindfulness practice allowed me to see that by choosing anxiety, I was creating an inner experience that in some ways was even worse than the temporary anxiety, to have the sense of not being autonomous and not being able to choose. And so that motivated me to start doing the flying while I had anxiety, and then starting to apply mindfulness to the anxiety as I had it. Okay, I am walking onto the plane right now, and there is a voice in my head that is saying, turn around and run. And isn't that an interesting voice? I'm gonna just walk into the plane anyways. And doing some really simple mindfulness exercises if anxiety came up on the flight, like if it hit turbulence. There are some really basic mindfulness exercises that aren't meditation. Things like naming 3 things that you can see right now. I can see the color red. I can see that this on the seat back is instructions for how to drop the tray table, to really ground yourself in the present moment using some of those mindfulness techniques. And then, it felt like a lot of self-care. And I would say the last thing that helped to that, now I fly pretty much every week and it's not traumatic at all. The biggest thing was giving myself credit for it. And I think that's part of mindfulness. One of the things that I always end any mindfulness practice with is appreciation. And that's a really important thing to, especially if you're working with people to train mindfulness, is to make sure that you include in any session, and you have people include after every exercise, to give themselves credit. How amazing is it that you were willing to be with this discomfort? How amazing is it that you made time for this practice today? Can you acknowledge your own courage? Can you acknowledge your own self-care? Acknowledge your own willingness? And I feel like that was the missing piece of being like, hey, this is pretty cool that I could be panicked and get on a plane and do it anyway. And I'm gonna celebrate that.
The exercise that Kelly used to move beyond her fear of flying can be helpful for so many who suffer from debilitating fear and anxiety. This week, Kelly will join us for a bonus webinar where she'll explain how mindfulness can strengthen willpower and help people cope with anxiety. This special bonus webinar was created just for NICABM's Gold members. If you're already a Gold member, you can watch at the time of broadcast or download so you can watch whenever is convenient for you. If you're not a Gold member and would like to be, just click the link below to sign up.